Dane.
I'm drinking.
You're drinking. I'm drinking. We're drinking Mountain Dew.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. Mountain Dew, the official non-sponsor of the Until Next Week podcast, which you are listening to right now.
Bartender, I'm going to need another.
Drank? Yes. But unfortunately, the bartender is not here anymore because all of our friends have left the building. But you've not left the building because you're listening to us right now. Dane, say something crazy.
It's going to smack you in the face just like this Mountain Dew smacking my mouth.
It's going to be a good episode. We hope you enjoy. And this is the Until Next Week podcast.
Stay breezy.
Yeah. We're back. Dane, how you feeling?
I have a mustache. That's how I'm feeling.
You're feeling like a mustache.
Yeah, because people with mustaches are just naturally cooler than others.
How cool?
Well, dare I say powers. It gives you powers.
It gives you powers.
Yeah, powers to scare people who don't normally get scared by things.
I don't know if that's the mustache.
Oh.
I think that might just be you, Dane.
That's just my attitude.
Yeah, and you're saying that you have the powers to scare people, but I have the power to scare you right now.
No,
because yes, we just received a Venmo for $1.
$1 million?
$1 million. Actually, $1 million from Jack Holmgren, who actually just texted me too, literally as I was saying this, and he said he better do it full send. What should he better do? What will be a full send? Well, Dane, you need to chug your drink and do 5 burpees to earn the $1. $1 million that Jack sent us.
$1 million.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Jack, you already sent us this dollar. You cannot retract it. So technically, Dane, you don't have to do this, but if you don't do this,
I'm for the people.
Bad things will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be another future sponsor.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to finish what's in this can right here.
Okay.
I'm going to get hot if I do this, but I mean, I'm a man of the people. So
you are a man of the people. Oh, chug it! Fit it! That's a horrible chug. Keep going. Okay, he chugged it. He's going. Don't hit your head. No, you got to go down. Okay, go. No, get up. 1. Come on. Get up. 2. Let's just go. Quality content on the Until Next Week podcast. This is all visual content for your audio podcast. Get up. Okay. Was that actually 5?
Yeah, you didn't count the 4th.
I was distracted. I hope you liked that segment of Dane doing 5 burpees and drinking his Mountain Dew in a chug form.
Didn't even break a sweat.
I consider today, like, hey, what if I actually brought stuff over so we could do a video podcast, at least clips? It would have been a good day to do it. Let's just say that. But you got to hear it instead.
That's true, and you got to hear my hip almost come out of place.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the $1 million that Jack sent us. Thank you from our Florida listener, our favorite Florida listener that we know of.
Unless Joe's in there right now.
I don't think he's in Florida.
But Joe doesn't listen anyways.
No, but it's okay. It's okay.
He's engaged.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about grinding my gears.
Oh!
Yes.
What grinds your gears?
Yes, we had the Grinds My Gears segment last week. We're bringing it back this week, and you have to wait until next week to hear it again. That's a pun because...
Brought to you by Fiber One bars, because what really grinds your gears? Constipation.
Is that what grinds your gears, Dane?
Not this week.
Okay. What grinds my gears? Cancel culture, just for the sake of cancel culture. And you know what? You know what's causing me to have this today?
Go on.
Chick-fil-A had something come out...
You want to cancel them?
No, I do not.
Wow, you want to cancel Chick-fil-A.
I said cancel culture just for the sake of cancel culture. People are trying to cancel Chick-fil-A because the other day, someone who's worked at their company for like 3 years tweeted something just about their diversity and inclusion like statement or policy, which like every big company has.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, people are like, oh my word, they just hired this guy. We got to cancel him. This is horrible. And I'm like, he's been there 3 years, and there's literally nothing wrong with the statement that he had. Like, what is your deal? I think these are people who literally just do not
They're bored.
read. They don't read anything.
Well,
they
who needs
just
to
see
read?
like a keyword. I'm like, nope, not going there ever again. This is so bad. We got to cancel them. I'm like, you cannot cancel the Lord's Chicken. The only thing that can cancel the Lord's Chicken is Sundays because they're closed. But besides that, that's the only thing that can hold them down.
The holy day.
Do you want to know how I'm canceling them right now?
Please tell me.
I went to get breakfast there this morning because they deserve every single one of my pennies.
You mean because you have a problem?
No, they have really good food. I really like it. I'm not addicted, but
right,
it could be addiction.
And I'm not addicted to fantasy football.
Okay, maybe I am addicted. But yeah, just cancel culture for the sake of cancel culture. Just cancel things that are worth canceling. Don't cancel things just for the sake of canceling things.
Yeah, cancel things like ice cream trucks in neighborhoods.
Okay.
Cancel things like Andy's frozen custard.
No.
I hate Andy's.
Stop. No.
Andy's, if you want to be a sponsor, we'll take your money.
Yes, we will. Andy's frozen custard is actually delicious.
But I'm never eating that.
I want to cancel Dane's opinions on these cancelable items.
I hate Andy's. It's overpriced. I have to eat outside like a livestock.
What's wrong with eating outside?
I don't want to eat outside. It's hot.
You sit in your car.
I don't want to sit in my car. You know what happens in the car?
Bad things.
Because it's still warm
things.
And it's melting everywhere. Next thing I know, people aren't being responsible in the back seat. And then
what's happening in your back seat?
There's just more than 2 people in the car, so they're in the back seat, and now they're spilling their things everywhere.
Okay.
Or they're children, and they don't
I
care
hate
about
when people
me.
spill their children. Just all over the car.
That too.
Yeah. Dane, but what actually grinds your gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
I want to know what gets up in your gears.
Is ESPN. I'm tired of ESPN because
ESPN?
ESPN, if you will.
Okay, ESPN.
Which I saw a TikTok the other day that perfectly demonstrated what ESPN's all about right here.
Okay.
And it's the fact that they latch on to these like stories, but then
they're a news agency.
Well, no, but just one specific type of news story, and we'll run it into the ground.
Okay.
And this TikTok the other day was this person being like, ESPN be like, so the Miami Heat make it to the NBA Finals and will be taking on the Denver Nuggets. But in other news, LeBron James, how does this affect his legacy?
Okay, I just want to say, the reason they do this is because it gets engagement. That's the whole point of a media company like that is to get engagement, to make money, etc. Whenever they post about LeBron James, you have more comments than any other post because people are engaging with it because they're either like, I completely agree, or like, oh, LeBron James is so bad. He's does, etc. He's like the 12th best player ever. Michael Jordan's way better. LeBron should retire. He got swept. He's horrible. This destroys his legacy. Dude, he's 38. Like most guys were
not into the legacy
welfare
argument
by
again.
then. Like, come on.
You said on welfare by then.
Oh, is that the right terminology?
No.
Oh, saying it. ARP, what is it?
AARP.
Is that what it's? Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Samuel hates people on welfare.
No, I said the wrong term.
This is how you get canceled, right?
That
here.
was bad. I meant to say whatever retirement people have.
Yeah, AARP. Or just drawing your retirement.
Yeah, ARP.
If you
Most of the players are on ARP by then. LeBron James is still putting up 30 points.
Pretty sure you can't retire until you're 65.
Well, I'm just saying. It's part of the illusion of all of this, I said most people aren't really doing much.
That's
but LeBron is.
People on the internet, that grinds my gears too, because they don't listen, and this goes back to your point too on cancel culture. Mm-hmm. They don't listen or read or care to do 4 seconds worth of research.
Yeah.
Like if they had just went and read the statement that Chick-fil-A made, they'd be like, oh, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Or if they had would just spend 5 minutes researching what ESPN's really taking a stance on, they would be like, oh, I actually don't care. We should move on to something else. They are just hot take artists anymore. They don't care about being right or telling you the truth. They're just they start telling making statements to get those clicks, to get people to be mad. And it started with Max Kellerman saying he'd rather have Iguodala over Curry.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's when I was done with ESPN talk shows, just in general.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not listening to these anymore. I'm not watching these anymore because nobody in their right mind believes that.
Okay, I just want to bring up, it's funny that you mentioned ESPN and then you go to their talk shows because I do have some interesting news for you.
Oh, no.
You know the show First Take?
Yeah.
With Shannon Sharp.
First Take is with Stephen A.
Oh, which one's the one with Shannon Sharp and other guy? Skip.
That's on FS1, but it's called...
oh, that's not on ESPN anymore?
Oh, so
okay.
Fox Sports has their own rival company now with ESPN.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
So Colin Cowherd's on Fox Sports.
Okay.
Things like that. Nick Wright is, whatever.
Okay, well, on their debate show, it's Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. And I just want to let you know that our friend who gave us $1, our sponsor, yes, that sponsor, because he gave us $1, we will talk about him right now.
Uh-oh.
He wanted to point out that we are very much, again, he's listened to our podcast. He just caught up. He's listened over about 2 weeks and listened to all 22 episodes, soon to be 23 when this releases.
Facts.
And he wanted me to let you know that I am the Shannon Sharp to your Skip Bayless, because he said usually my opinions are usually well thought out and reasonable, and you're just saying anything that comes to your mind, how crazy it might be, and that is why you are Skip Bayless. And one other follow-up on that. It's funny because he told me that, and then he got to the point in episode 18 where you specifically said, I am not Skip Bayless.
I'm not. Skip Bayless, doesn't he goes up there every day in his LeBron shoe, or not LeBron, his LeBron hate and his Jordan shoes. And
so it sounds like
spew hate.
You currently, because you mentioned earlier, they just keep posting stuff about LeBron.
They do.
You are Skip Bayless, Dane.
Here's the thing. So, do Skip and I have similarities? Of course, we're both.
Do Shannon and I, are we both former professional college athletes? Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, we both have similar features. No, you don't need to go this route, but I think I just really resonate with Shannon Sharp, and you resonate with Skip Bayless.
Well, Skip and I are both Cowboys fans. He likes Diet Mountain Dew, which is whatever.
You are the same person.
And he also hates LeBron, loves Jordan.
You're the same person. That's what we're saying.
But you want to know the big kicker of this that I heard this week about
What
that
is
specific show?
Oh, what happened?
They're
this time?
breaking up.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think they paid out Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, he wanted out.
Yeah, because Skip is one of the worst human beings around.
Thank you.
And that is why I think you, Dane, are Skip Bayless.
Retweet.
Well, I mean, that's the same reason that going blank on his name. Steven. Why he left, I think, because he just couldn't deal with all the craziness of Skip Bayless.
Well, you go back to some of the clips and the takes that he just has on there.
Whoa. You're saying Steven, oh no, Skip Bayless, you say LeBron is not the best ever. Oh, you have him number 9? What?
No, I think he's number 9 all the time.
He's not good.
He's not better
Whoa. I'm going to get up here and leave.
And then he does get up and leave.
Oh, my word. And then he said the stupid thing that one time to Shannon where he literally just said he was a bad player or whatever else. He played
tough.
Professional sports, and you're just here talking to him. You should be grateful you even have this opportunity.
I will say
their egos are so ridiculous.
Yeah. You can't admit you're wrong ever.
No,
kind of thing.
It's so dumb.
But I will say one thing that I don't like is JJ Redick I think he's on First Take now, but he'll say stuff and he'll just be like, no, Steven, you didn't play. You don't know.
That is stupid too. It's taking both sides. You can't just say because I played, I know everything, or because I didn't play, I should know everything. There is a medium. You can have good opinions and not have ever played.
Yeah, I would probably lose my job on that because I would be like,
the Cowboys are the best ever. I'm telling you guys. Dak Prescott is not complacent. He's a competent quarterback.
I would reverse engineer his own point against him all the time. I'd be like, well, you never played football, so you don't know, JJ.
Oh.
Or anytime we talk basketball, I'd be like, well, do you want to hear my opinion or do I not know? And then, of course, the writers would be like, oh, you can't say that, man. And I'd be like,
I just did.
Well,
but we wrote on there that you wouldn't say that.
Yeah. We can't have a debate if you just discredit my every point saying that I never played, so I'm not entitled to an opinion.
I'm not going to go down this route, but this is in so many different aspects of life where it's if you aren't this or haven't done this, you can't have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
You can take that as you want. I'm not going to go down this route.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. And it's just you still can have opinions and you still can have correct opinions.
Facts.
That's Trey Kennedy's podcast I listen to sometimes, Correct Opinions. Not a sponsor of the pod.
But friend of the pod.
Yeah, friend of the pod, sort of. Because Jake Triplett is on Correct Opinions. He is a friend of our pod. He mentioned that I had a podcast once on his podcast, Ghost Runners podcast, but he didn't say the name. I thought he would. It's okay.
So he said Samuelson, who has a podcast.
You check it out. I'm like, well, how
are they going to find it, Jake?
Going to check it out? I don't know, but
Jake,
it's okay.
Are you listening?
Yeah, maybe one of these days. But it's okay. Whenever I wrote him a review on his podcast, I mentioned that we had a podcast, but I also put, you don't have to read this part, so it's kind of on me. I could have self-promoted myself more.
Samuel.
I know, but
We could be in the kabillions right now.
I
listeners.
know, but I just thought he would say it anyway. But he did mention I had a podcast, but I need to find a way to promote myself better as well.
You know what really deserves a correct opinion?
What is that?
If there should be objections in weddings.
I object. Do you actually want to say that again because it might have gone over?
So what needs a correct opinion is why are there no more objections at weddings?
I don't know. This is on it's still on TV shows, so it has to be true. And
I've only ever seen it on TV shows.
I don't know if it actually ever was a thing, but when they have the wedding, they're like, hey, does anyone object from this union? And usually, I mean, in shows, a lot of times people will say, yes, I object. But I've been in plenty of weddings or been to plenty of weddings. Why don't they ask this anymore? I think it can make it kind of spicy.
It would make it much more interesting.
Yeah. I think you went to a wedding. Did you go to a wedding the other day?
When?
Or no, that was Lane. Lane went to a wedding.
He went to a wedding today.
Yeah, and I was asking him about it, and he was like, no, there's no objections. And I'm like, I think it would be kind of interesting if one of the best men was like, I object.
Oh,
I got to know this lady pretty well, and I think I have a chance.
Oh, boy. Me reaches into my bag and pulls out popcorn.
Yeah. And that could make for some good content, which is about all weddings. You want good content. They always make the not the documentaries, but the wedding videos.
True.
Have some objections in there. Get some interviews.
The officiant then turns into a ring official, and you start fighting.
Ding, ding.
Here we go.
In
this corner.
Standing at 5'8",
Out of
one of his
Florida
third best
State.
men, known him since middle school. Yes, the objector, Dane Biesmeyer.
I would never do that. That'd be incredibly awkward. And if I haven't won her over by then it's whatever.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not in the business of stealing ladies anymore.
No, you're not Mr. Steal Your Girl anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you just have your missions. Which one are you on, by the way? You said?
I don't know.
You're not on Chief's Kingdom, are you?
Not for realsies.
Okay, because I know whenever I talked to fan of the pod, Michael Fuller, at Kanakuk a few weeks ago, he was asking me, hey, which mission is Dane on again? I'm like, there's too many to count.
There's not too many to count. The one I'm kind of on now, is called
Mission Taylor Swift.
Well, I got to come up with a name for it now.
Yeah.
It's Operation. Well, I don't want to call it that.
Is there new movements I don't know about? I don't know about most of them. Okay.
Kind of.
Do you want to say her name on the pod?
No.
Does she listen to the pod? You
No.
know what to say?
I'm not sure she knows that we have a pod.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of disappointing. So if you're listening to the pod, you are not on Dane's mission list.
It's Operation Breaking Dane's One Rule.
Ooh.
Because I've always had one rule of dating ever since I was in middle school.
Yeah, it has to be a woman.
And this...
Not going this route. Sorry, keep going.
I mean, yes, but also I can't really tell you the
rule.
I could.
Okay.
Because the rule is gingers can't date other gingers.
So, if you're a ginger and listening, there's a decent chance Dane's going after you.
Even if you're a dude. No, I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen to the pod.
Okay, pretty sure.
This
will be interesting.
Everything's a greater than zero chance.
Yeah, yep.
So
wow.
If you're listening, it's probably you.
Yeah. You got red hair?
Yeah.
It's you.
It's because it's kind of weird because if you're two redheads dating each other, people are like, oh, are your parents redheaded? Like, you guys are clearly siblings. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, no, actually, this is my lady friend here.
Yep. She's also my cousin, but...
yeah. And Jeff Foxworthy had a great joke one time.
What is that?
He said he was in New York one time, and he was with a buddy, and they go, why does everybody from the South married to the cousin and has seen a UFO? Mm-hmm. And he said, well... Hell, he said, well, hell, I'm only dating my cousin. I couldn't have swore it wasn't a weather balloon. Dang it. He's like, so everybody in the South is not married to their cousin.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, it is illegal to marry your cousin in Alabama, but not in New York. In New York, it's completely legal.
That is a little crazy.
You got to ask yourself why that is.
Okay. Why is that?
Because it's not a problem in New York.
I see why that could be an issue.
If you're in Alabama, I apologize.
Yeah. You don't apologize too much.
You're right.
Just enough.
But here's the thing. I think you should have objections at weddings.
Yeah, I think it would make it more interesting just for it gives the officiant something else to do. Or you could have an official person who's not the officiant be like, are there any objections?
Yeah.
You have the objections guy.
Dang it.
And then they're like, everybody, like if there's multiple people that raise their hand, they bring out a little like podium for
Calls
them.
on them.
Yeah, like, okay, why do you object to this union?
It's like a forum.
Yeah.
Like a city council meeting.
City council meeting. It's like, and then there's some crazy stuff being said. And it's like, what?
I'm
what
just
are
worried
you?
about the structure of the house that they're moving into and how it's going to affect my property values.
It's like, who invited you? Well, I heard there was an open question forum, so that's why I showed up.
Panel.
I had objections.
But the way I see it is like
The people who had objections would not get invited to the wedding.
that, but also I got nothing to hide, for one, and for two, if she's going to leave me for some floozy in the audience, then she wasn't loyal to begin with. So here we are.
What if they ask, like, are there any objections, and like the groom or bride raises their hand?
Oh boy.
That's when it could get real interesting.
That's when I need to call a full timeout, talk to my team on the sideline.
Be like, what's happening? What's happening?
Is this planned? Am I being punked right now?
Where's the cameras? Where's the cameras?
Guys, this is really not funny.
I don't know, but hopefully we bring back objections in weddings. Or just the asking of objections. Hopefully there aren't many objections at weddings.
The only thing I would really have an objection to is not selling your Swiftie era ticker. Taylor
Swift ticker.
I'm sorry, guys.
He chugged his drink earlier.
I am on my second due. But not selling your Swiftie Eras Tour ticket for $20 million.
Okay.
As I heard a Swiftie turn it down.
I don't think this is a real thing.
I think it was real.
Okay. Do you want to give us some background context?
So it didn't seem like a real offer, but there's another podcast.
Hypothetical.
It was a hypothetical offer. But there's another podcast. They usually do sports, but they had this one lady on. They were asking her like a bunch of questions. And they said, would you sell your Eras Tour ticket?
Come on, spit it out.
Sorry, I'm illiterate. Your Eras Tour ticket for $20 million. She said no. And I'm like, they're all like, what do you mean? And I was also like, what do you mean? And then she's like, I get more fulfillment and joy out of going to that than I ever would with $20 million.
You're stupid.
All of the dudes stood up and go, are you kidding me? You set yourself up, your husband up, your kids, your grandkids up for years, decades.
I'm telling you right now, if they even offered her, I think, $10,000, like they literally like, hey, here it is. I think she would take it.
Yeah.
Because again, you can't just obviously in this scenario just take the money then buy another ticket for like $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever.
Yeah. You got to play it out where that's not an option.
But if you're getting, I think like 10 grand, I would say a high majority of people would sell the ticket.
Yeah.
If you're getting 20 million and you don't take it, you're stupid. You're so stupid.
Your significant other has to just be losing their mind right now.
Like,
if you don't take that.
How would you look your significant other in the face if they're coming home to work just like over and over like, I hate my job, I hate my life, this is the worst thing ever. Like, how was your concert?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I had an opportunity to change our lives forever and our families' lives forever. But I turned it down.
Yeah, I think in those scenarios, the husband should have an objection. Like, yeah, I object. Sell the ticket.
Put that in the clause of the marriage.
Yeah, that is so dumb.
If you ever turn down any $20 million for anything that is ethical, then we should reevaluate what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't
also
know.
not true.
You would have to be crazy rich, or it'd have to be like crazy. Basically, you have to be crazy rich to turn down $20 million.
Yeah.
For like in literally anything.
Yeah, if we had $20 million right now, first off,
we would still be doing this podcast.
I would have served you dinner before with the podcast.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have had
What do you
Lane
mean?
do it. You would have paid him.
Who?
Lane.
Why would I pay Lane?
To make us dinner.
I'm going to get our own chef. What do you mean?
I thought that was going to be Lane.
No.
Okay.
Lane can't cook. He's just smart.
He is a smart guy.
He is
a
cook
smart
too.
guy.
He made salmon the other night. And sometimes he makes me spaghetti.
That's nice. That's so sweet of him. And you don't even have to pay him.
I don't. I pay him in comedy. Did I tell you my HR person at work? You know what? I'm going to come across this table. My HR person at work said, quote, Dane, your talents are wasted here.
Does he listens to the podcast, doesn't he? She does?
She does not. But she gets all of my content for free at work.
Okay.
She goes, yeah, you're the comedic relief for sure. And I'm like,
What does she want you to do?
She wants me to be a comedian.
Oh, seriously? I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I tell everybody this. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever you have a scripted thing that you get up on stage and just say to people, that's different than what I do. I feed and roll off of people. I have some witty like comebacks to things that are hilarious.
Yeah.
But that I've gained over time.
Yeah.
But like I don't have a script that can go up on stage and be like, so airline food, how about that, huh? Samuel's choking. I'm sure I could if I wanted to, but also I don't know.
I think your crowd work would be pretty good.
Yeah, playing with the crowd would be fun.
You're ugly. It's like that's not even a joke. Yeah, but you are.
What are you mad about?
Well, the show hasn't even started yet. I'm just your manager in the back. Yeah, you're ugly. It's like what?
You ugly.
Man. But yeah, I underswam. I understand the Swifties. Oh my gosh.
I don't understand.
I understand the Swiftie hype.
I don't.
And I understand wanting to go to the concert. But if you're turning down $20 million, you're dumb.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because if you get that $20 million, first off, buy another ticket, which we have to play it out where you can't.
No, you can't.
Whatever. But fine. Go to any other like Taylor Swift tour ever. Get VIP passes. Meet Taylor.
You can't pay to meet her.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah,
I've never been
you
to a
got
Swift
to be
concert.
pretty much either super famous
I am.
to meet her, or you
with
have
her.
to just get really lucky and get selected to meet her.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be easy in the future when she's our overlord.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it one day.
Yeah.
We're close.
I saw a TikTok where it said it's the year 2048. Our overlord Swift took over 4 years ago, and her army of Swifties have encapsulated everybody who refuses to not sing her songs every day.
It's going to be the national anthem.
It will be the national anthem.
Kind of looking forward to it, though.
No, wait. Don't say I didn't warn ya.
Okay, you can't keep singing because then it'll be copyrighted because your voice is identical to Taylor's Dane.
I mean, I get that, and it's not my fault that I should be the next one on tour.
Okay. Yep, you're to be the new opener for Taylor Swift, which we don't need to get into that more now. We can wait until next week to discuss it.
Hey.
But you know what we will not wait until next week to discuss?
Flies?
Nope. We are actually going to talk about our Pixar movie draft.
Ooh.
Yes, there have been roughly 20 to 30 Pixar movies, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, that came out.
I had them all pulled up.
Yep, and we decided there are some that are better than others. And right now, we are going to rank, and you could say draft our top picks. Yes, our top 4 picks on what we think are the best Pixar movies of all time.
Here's what we're thinking.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Cyrus.
Yep.
What number I should be. If I'm 1, then I go first. If I'm 2, then I go second.
Okay, that makes sense.
Siri, pick a number between 1 and 2.
The answer is 2.
Okay.
Son of a cat.
I get the first overall pick of this Pixar
You're gonna pick a
draft.
stupid movie.
You know what? This is great because I have the best pick. You cannot beat this with number 1 overall. The pick is in. I select The Incredibles with the number 1 Pixar movie of all time.
I thought you were going to go Toy Story.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself. The Incredibles is the best one. And do you know why that is?
It was my number 2.
Yeah, it's number 1 though. Don't get ahead of yourself. Stop. Stop. The Incredibles came out in 2004, and it was just a different vibe of movie. Like, it went the whole superhero route, but Pixar did just so well, and like so many unique different storylines.
It's a family of superheroes instead.
Well, yeah, and then they all get in trouble for being super, so they have to go like in hiding. And of course, the dad is like, "I still want to relive my glory days." And they're like, "No, Bob, you can't." And he's like, "I'm going to go under you and get my suit back and start beating up people." You know?
Ooh, big question for you though. Blue Mr. Incredible or red Mr. Incredible?
Red.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Blue.
Okay, you can do whatever you want. You're nostalgic. You're
Easily
kind of in
the
the
blue
old
one.
times. You
Blue's
also
way
also
cooler.
like Michael Jordan more, so we know you like the old stuff.
The blue suit was way cooler.
It
than
was
the red
really
suit.
cool, but I just when I think of Mr. Incredible, I think red.
Well, yeah, but blue suit was just better.
Okay, they both were very solid. But the red had more features, which were pretty dope because of Edna mode.
What features?
I know. Well, I mean, she went through the. I don't know what actually his suit had, but I know like the other ones, like they were like fire resistant or could like stretch as far as
Explosion
you can, baby,
resistant.
or can turn invisible or whatever else.
Yeah, that's true.
So the red had a lot more features.
I would say his one specifically.
He had the tracking in his.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
That kind of hurt him. So maybe the blue was better.
See?
Yeah, but also just with The Incredibles. They waited so long to do a sequel, and that's because the first one was extremely successful, and they didn't want to just throw out a story quickly, so they waited like 15 years before doing a sequel, and then they made it, and it honestly wasn't super great, but it was still nostalgic.
I liked it.
It just wasn't anywhere close to the first one, which is
agree.
why they didn't do a sequel in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't like the mind control, and I was like, this is overplayed and not interesting.
Yeah. But overall, very solid movie. I had no other thoughts on what my number one pick would be. Incredibles is number one. I am number one. What is your number one?
Do I get 2 picks here?
Yeah, you get back to back.
Perfect. So, and these are the 2 I really wanted anyways. The first one I'm going to take is not Toy Story. Toy Story is not in my top 10.
Wow.
But it's Cars.
Dang it. Okay.
Cars is beautiful. It's got an incredible soundtrack.
That's what I literally put.
Yeah.
I had Cars and I put soundtrack in parentheses.
Well, Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts.
It's so good.
Beautiful. Also, you have an awesome storyline where he goes from arrogant number one hotshot dude that we see like play out all the time in the real world, and then he starts to understand the common folk and the hard work that they do and the fact that they have headlights and he doesn't.
Hot take. It is Pixar's version of a Hallmark movie.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Cars?
Okay.
Because in the Hallmark movies, they're always like, I'm a hot shot from New York, and I'm just coming back to a small town for whatever. Oh, I found this hunk of a man who's a farmer. I'm going to leave all this for them. Same idea. Dang, keep going.
Kind of, but also, if you're somebody out there driving right now, do not turn right to go left. That was a lie to you in the movie.
He just had to get in his head a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
You got to humble him. Like, hey, you got to go left, turn right.
Well, it's something also I like as a huge sports fan, of course, is the drawback to history and respecting kind of the people who came before you in the
Piston Cup winners.
Piston Cup and the Hudson Hornet.
He won his cup?
Like, wow, this is
yeah.
Wasn't his cup. But yeah, things like that were just really cool. And of course, Tow Mater was funny. Owen Wilson is awesome in that movie. Wow.
Yep.
But yeah, Cars, fantastic movie. I like sports, and he won. So, fantabulous. My number 2. I'm not sure you're going to have this in your top 4.
Yeah, I bet you I probably do, but say it.
Ratatouille.
Nope, not there. Not in my top 10. Okay.
Not in your top 10.
No. Keep going, though.
Ratatouille's beautiful. It's a young man who's a rat. He teaches this
It's
guy.
a young man who's a rat?
I said what I said. So the main character in that movie, who's the human, he's just kind of a screw up and a mess up, and then he has a rat that is on his head and helps him cook. Somehow the rat knows how to cook, but it's a rat whose he never fit in with his family, and he always wanted to do just something different than the way that things have always been done.
Do you see yourself in that rat?
I see myself as misunderstood, whatever his name is in that.
Okay, I don't care that much, but yeah.
Remy.
Oh, you're talking about Remy.
Remy
okay.
the rat.
Remy the rat.
I don't remember the human's name.
Yeah, who cares? It's about Remy.
And then it's also hey, we got to pull together for this critic to come here, and then he changes his mind on the whole thing because he draws back in the nostalgia and the trauma from his childhood of the Ratatouille.
Yeah.
And it's just layers, literally in the Ratatouille, and then literally in the movie. And I like it a lot.
Okay, good second pick. I mean, I respect that. I mean, Pixar as a whole has very solid movies.
Except for the recent ones.
Yeah, some of the recent ones are iffy, which I don't think we picked many of those. Dane is shaking his drink. He's shaken, not stirred type of guy.
That's true. I have Mountain Dew and whiskey glasses currently.
Yes. For my number 2 overall pick, I'm choosing Finding Nemo. Yes, the movie that preceded The Incredibles came out in 2003. Huh. And I think...
It's that old?
Yeah, it was 03.
20 years old?
I mean, that was 03. Incredibles was 04.
Wow.
Finding Nemo is just the visuals throughout that movie, being underwater is so cool. And then you see Nemo early in the movie goes out and he touches the butt.
Take it.
That is an iconic moment in that movie. Just like, Nemo, do not touch that boat. And he just like pulls out his fin and taps it. It's like, he touched the butt. Nice. Iconic, especially as a 6-year-old watching that. I love him touching that butt. Of the boat. But literally just the whole movie, it's just like there's so many iconic scenes. You got Bruce.
Fish are friends, not food.
And then you got Darla, who's just a crazy girl.
Who
like kills all the fishies.
Fishy.
And then you got
Darla is my sister, actually.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Lindsay is much that way.
I mean, she would have been about the same age probably as Darla at the same time the movie came out.
Yeah, 2003. Lindsay would have been 5. So yeah.
And Darla would look pretty young.
5-ish,
so probably around the same age.
Look at that.
And then you got, I think it was Gil, who's really mysterious and has like the scars on his eyes. Like, whoa,
who's
this
Gil?
guy? And then,
I like the seagull the best.
Yeah, you got, and then there's other characters just throughout.
Pelican, not
and
seagull.
then you got who's the turtle?
Crush.
Oh, dude.
Dude, we're going down to I-95, dude.
And you take a right, and then you do a little spin, and you're good, dude.
Give me some fin. Noggin. Dude.
There's so many quotable moments. And then you got Dory, obviously. You got Marlin.
Dory was annoying. Marlin was a buzzkill.
And then, wow, it was still just such a quality movie. It got kind of emotional. The whole movie's emotional because Pixar likes doing that with you. And then at the very beginning, they have like, hey, all your family's dead.
Congratulations.
Besides this one who now has a disability. So
Facts.
Here we go. I did see a weird theory the other day. And it was basically like, because I think they called Nemo... Like
Nemo.
Yeah, Nemo. Apparently that means like nothing or none. So there's a theory that Marlin...
I saw that.
That is Marlin,
it's
right?
It's PTSD, yeah.
Yeah,
Marlin's
and it's like
dad.
actually his entire family died and this is all going on in his head.
Right.
I'm like, I don't think that makes for as sweet of a story.
Well, sure. But that's like saying that Scar wasn't the rightful king of Pride Rock.
Yeah, but we're not
He
going
is.
we're not going down
He
this
is.
we're not go that's Disney. We're not going down this route. But yeah, it has a quality soundtrack. It's just a fun movie from the beginning to the end. You have some very sweet moments. Then you have Ellen DeGeneres before she.
What's she in that?
She's Dory.
She's Dory?
Yeah, that was before she started like abusing her coworkers.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not good. But that was before. Hopefully, that was before that happened. It was before she was caught. But
well, yeah, certainly.
Quality movie, and then also just because I have that swimming background, it just makes it more unique to me.
I had Finding Nemo at number 8 on my list.
Okay, thanks for sharing. For my number 3 pick, originally it was going to be Cars, and
Nice.
you took it, so I'll go a different route. I'm gonna go with Toy Story 2.
Ooh.
Toy Story, as everybody knows, you better know.
Story about toys.
Toy Story was the movie that started it all for Pixar. And that could have easily been in my
Al's
top.
Toy Barn.
Yeah, it could have been, well, not Toy Story. Toy Story could have
Oh.
easily been one of our top picks because it started all. It had Buzz, Woody, etc. But Toy Story
Trash
2, I think, like the graphics got much better, I think, from the first one. But then you just add other characters into the mix. So yes, you have Buzz, you have Woody. They're kind of more established. But then you also have like Jessie. And then you have...
And that romance.
Yeah, which it doesn't end up that way if you keep watching the other Toy Story movies.
R.I.P.
Because Woody likes Bo Peep.
Who's... Oh, the...
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah. Now you remember?
The shepherdess?
Yes. The shepherdess. That's who he likes.
I said it.
But
It's a word
again,
now.
it's just... There's so many unique parts, I think, of that movie. You get like 2 different storylines you have while like Woody is on his own with like all these new toys trying
That's
to
true.
break out of this guy who's trying to sell them to like
Prison.
a Chinese company, a Chinese collector.
Hate it when that
And then you
happens.
have Buzz and all his other friends who are trying to find a way to rescue him. Then you get Zurg into the mix.
Who's that?
That's the villain. That's like a Buzz Lightyear's villain.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and then he breaks out of like the store whenever they run out of a store, and then he like attacks. Rah. He tries to attack Buzz on top of like the elevator, and it gave like really big Star Wars vibes for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. And he's like,
Comebacks.
"I am your father,"
No,
or
you're
something.
not.
And then there was the whole breakdown and everything else. But there's just a lot of quality characters, quality moments. It was the best Toy Story movie. Again, like all the Toy Story movies are amazing, but I think for me personally, Toy Story 2 is one of the most iconic ones. It was came up when I came up growing up. I think it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was 01.
I don't know.
And yeah, it's I don't know. It's just a quality movie.
Rex, the Slinky Dog, and Mr. Potato Head are the only good ones in that movie.
Mrs. Potato Head?
She was funny, but not good. She's like, wait, was Mr. Did you just call him Mr. Potato Head in that movie?
I think Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head, if you don't put your ears back on. I thought that was funny. It was something like that.
Yeah, it's just the characters are more established in that movie, and it just makes for a great overall adventure, and that's why I have it as my number 3 overall pick. Dane, who are you picking for your final 2?
So in the number 3 spot, I'm gonna take Shawshank Redemption.
That's not Pixar, Dane. That's not Pixar.
Gotcha. Well, then I'm just gonna go with Monsters Inc. instead.
I hate you. I hate you. Did you have Toy Story 2 in your top picks?
Not even close.
I almost flip-flopped it, and I was like, maybe I should go Monsters Inc. and then go the Toy Story route.
Yeah.
And I hate that I didn't. Dang it, Dane. Explain why you like this great movie.
I had none of the Toy Stories in my top 10.
Yeah, after you told me the Toy Story 1 was not in your top 10,
Yeah.
I figured it probably... I didn't think it would go Monsters, Inc. Okay.
Toy Stories suck. But yeah, I'm picking Monsters, Inc. just because it's not like some of those basic movies that they do nowadays. It's different. It's not like, oh, we're going to remake The Little Mermaid. We're going to remake Mulan and make it like
You
horrible
named
and not as great.
2 Disney movies,
Well,
or Pixar.
fine.
Pixar.
Yeah, but those movies suck, except for Mulan is great.
Pixar, come on.
You want to talk about a soundtrack? Mulan.
Oh, my word.
Anyways.
Focus. Why do you like Monsters, Inc.?
Monsters Inc. is great because it's different. They go to another realm, and like scaring the kids is good. It makes us money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they learn at the end that laughter is actually 3 times the producer and the conductor that fear and screaming is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it took them the entire movie to get there and bring down a whole corporation of people.
Boo.
And I'm like, yeah, boo the little child who was a narc and trying to get them in trouble.
Kitty.
Yeah, they should have left her wherever she was at.
Oh, wow. Hey, we're going to leave you with Randall.
Yeah,
They're going to...
Hey, Randall was just a good old union boy.
It's like, hey, if I have to suck the life out of a kid for my job, I'll do it.
Yeah, hey, he was a company man. And
Yeah. A lot of people probably who only read like headlines to articles would probably love that guy.
Well, let's look about the life lessons from Monsters, Inc. You go against the grain, it is going to be really bad for you for a while. You might make it out, but if you're a Randall and put your nose to the grindstone, you're going to
would capture 1,000 kids before I let this place go under.
That's what the owner of the company wanted. So
Mr. Waternoose. Is that? I think that's his name. And of course, it was Waternoose. He wanted to kill people.
Is it Noose?
I'll look it up as you keep on explaining why you like Monsters, Inc.
That's crazy. But it's a little different in the dynamic between Sully and the green dude, Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. It is Henry J. Waternoose III.
Waternoose the third.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's a good movie, and y'all should check it out. And then, am I correct in saying you don't have Monsters, Inc. on your next list?
What?
Or I mean Monsters University.
I mean, you can pick whoever you want. It's your last pick.
Well, I was going to mention it in association with
No,
this
I'm not
one.
going to pick it.
Okay. I'm not going to pick it either. Well, yeah, I'm not going to pick it either. Because the sequel to that, Monsters University, pretty solid too. I didn't hate it. Like, it was okay. Like that, like kind of there's separate parting ways.
It had that one iconic moment wherever they were throwing like the house party, I think.
Yeah.
Was that in the movie or is that a clip afterwards?
I think it was in the movie.
Where I think they threw like a major rager,
Yeah.
and I think the mom of like them just went crazy. I think that might have been a short. I don't know if that was in the movie itself, but it still had a lot of iconic moments. But
either way, you know what the comparisons are for
Yes.
this movie? Monsters Inc. and Monsters University are just 21 and 22 Jump Street. They kind of are. Short, little, round dude, really tall, athletic guy who's the main character.
yeah.
And then they go to college in the second one.
Well, but it was a prequel.
Yeah,
was a
I guess
prequel.
University was a prequel.
It explained how they made it to Monsters Inc.
That's true.
Monsters Inc. Please hold. Monsters Inc. Please hold.
Man. But yeah, Monsters Inc. teaches you life lessons about real corporate world jobs. And that's why I like it.
I met John Goodman.
Who did he play? Sully?
That's Sully.
And John Goodman.
Missouri State alum. He's
What
been in
else is he in?
several other great movies.
Is he Kronk?
Huh?
He's not Kronk.
No, he's not Kronk.
What's Emperor's New
actually, no,
Groove?
that he is Kronk. John Goodman is Kronk. John Goodman, Kronk. I'll make sure. I'm checking.
Check it.
Kronk is John Goodman.
The Poison Special for Cusco.
One other movie that he was in was The Big Lebowski.
He was in Rules of Engagement, right?
He was also in Roseanne. And then like the Flintstones. He was in several. He was in Hangover Part 3, I guess.
What? Was he in Rules of Engagement?
I could check. I mean, I don't know
guess.
if this is really important. Rules of
very
Engagement.
important for Because he was the married dude.
I don't think
Oh, well.
I don't know. He might have been at some point. It was kind of hard to tell.
Oh, well.
I also don't know that show. But I did meet him a few years ago at Missouri State. I was walking out of one of my classes in the business building. And I'm like, that's John Goodman.
That's a giant man with
He's a big
velvety
dude.
voice.
He has a molasses voice.
I like
It's
it.
just all sweet and
It's the
tender. You know?
You know what, Helen?
But yeah, I got to meet him, got a picture with him. He signed a little note
face.
for me. That'd been nice.
What'd the note say?
I mean, he signed his name and he was like, "Good luck and God bless." I'm like, "Thank you, John."
Did you ask him for his phone number so you could send him the podcast?
I took his phone. But yeah, solid guy, solid movie. Dane, fourth pick.
Fourth pick. I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here and go really old school.
Okay.
Bug's Life.
That was not in my top picks. I'm surprised it's one of your top picks, but it is a great movie. Explain why.
Well, the top four for me when it was followed, Cars, Incredibles, Ratatouille, Bug's Life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going with Bug's Life because I'm like, well, you took Finding Nemo, don't want to take Monsters University, and Incredibles 2 is on here, but it was but so Bug's Life, again, it was just one of those ones I saw as a child.
Yeah.
And Flick was a little bit different, and just like kind of the weird creative ways they depicted ants and bugs as getting along in a harmonious ecosystem.
Yeah.
Apart from the wasps. And actually they were grasshoppers, but wasps I feel like should be grouped in there as rude creatures.
Yep, rude creatures.
and bees. But it was just a good movie like that, and just kind of a unique way that they kind of put like leaves together and water and like showing the colony and things. Very much kind of like a bee movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I liked it. It was a solid movie. I didn't hate it. It's kind of funny. And then they triumph over evil once more.
I'm a little surprised they never made a sequel. I don't know what it would have been. I also don't know if it was
Bug's
one of-
Afterlife.
Yeah, I don't. They're all dead.
They're all dead.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they might have tried to make some sort of sequel at some point, but I don't think it was like a movie. It might have
Death.
It might have been like a TV show or something. But yeah, it was a quality movie. I think a lot of the original Pixar movies in general are just solid. They didn't really have a swing and a miss on a movie
Except
until
for all
probably
of
like
them.
the little dinosaur. I think that was like
Yeah,
circa
the
like
Good
2012,
Dinosaur or something?
2013, 2014. That was probably their first miss, and then they've had a couple others that haven't been great
Swing and a miss.
since then. Really quick, just a random movie that some people really love, other people hate, I think, is WALL-E.
I had that in my honorable mentions list.
I think it is a quality movie, but some people aren't huge fans of it because it is like
kind of boring.
it is a little boring, but I think it's still a good movie. But for my fourth overall pick, because you did pick two of my top four with Cars and Monsters Inc.
Look at that.
So I'm gonna go with Up.
I just circled that over here.
Yep, it's a very quality movie. It has one of the saddest starts again
that.
to a movie.
Sad things
It's
are
so
great.
sweet, but so sad because it has the main character Carl and his wife.
Oh!
They meet as like kids. They get married. She gets, I think, it looks like cancer, and then she dies. And it's like, what? And then like they had so many plans to have all these big adventures they could never go on. So then he still lives in the same old house because he loves like all the memories. He's very sentimental with that stuff. And I think I'm the same way in a lot of ways. And then they show like fast forward and he's basically in the middle of like New York City and there's skyscrapers everywhere, but he will not sell his house because the memories mean more to him than the money. Kind of like the girl who won't sell her Eras Tour ticket.
Even though she doesn't have the memories yet.
Yep.
And she can make so many memories of $20 million.
Yeah, but they have obviously Carl, and then they have who's the little boy? Remember?
He's a troop dude. I only watched this like a couple times because I thought it was kind of boring too.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's sad. Well, I'm not going to look up his name.
It wasn't on my top 10.
I think so it was like the Boy Scout, and then he ends up like pairing up with Carl. They go on a big ride because Carl, decided to hook his house up to like 1 million balloons.
Carl Fredricksen.
Yeah, which would not carry a house, but it does in this movie, and it makes the movie better. Because if he had all the balloons pop out and they didn't go anywhere, I'd be like, what are you doing? Because he was also going to get arrested for assaulting a man.
Russell.
Yeah, Russell.
That was the kid's name.
Is a kid. Here, snipey, snipey, snipe.
Dang it.
Here, snipe. You
Wait.
got to clap 3 times and say snipe.
Was he snipe hunting?
Yes.
Do you know that's a real thing?
I think, isn't it just like a joke, though?
Yeah, it's a
like
joke.
Always a joke.
Like you get people to go out there and they have to like quack like a duck or something.
They clap 3 times. Here, snipe.
Here, snipe.
Here you go.
But there's no such thing as a snipe.
Yeah, which is why he played the joke on the kid. But then they go on a big adventure. They meet a giant bird.
That's a snipe.
Kevin.
Kevin!
And it's just really a sweet story, and it's kind of like a big adventure they're going on. Like they're in like the middle of like the Amazon rainforest. Then there's obviously
Kinda trippy.
like the villain who tries to kill him. It's like, what are you doing?
Again.
But it's just a big adventure. It's a very sweet story. A very sad start to a movie that ends very sweet.
Recap our 4s.
Yes, our 4s. So for my 4 picks, which are better than Dane's 4 picks,
False.
I have The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Toy Story 2, and Up. And then Dane does have Cars,
Goat.
Ratatouille,
Goat.
Monsters, Inc.,
Pretty good.
and A Bug's Life.
Awesome.
Please let us know who you think had a better 4 picks. Let us know what your top 4 picks would have been. You can leave us a 5-star review on Spotify.
And a
or
6-minute voicemail.
Yeah, leave us a voice memo. You can do that also. We'll play it on the pod. Ask us
man.
questions. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Anything would be great. But leave us a written 5-star review on Apple Podcasts with your top picks. That would be pretty dope. And yeah, just let us know what you think. I think we had some good picks here.
I used to get 20, almost 30-minute voice memos from people.
Yeah.
By people, I mean one person. But also, yeah.
Yeah.
So leave me as long as one as you want, and I might listen to it.
What did you say?
Leave me as long of one as you want, and I
Okay.
might listen to it.
I thought it was like what?
starting to
And
slur
then
my words.
Yeah, I'm like, the Mountain Dew's wearing off.
I'll drink more then.
Yeah, but those are our Pixar movies that we selected. We hope you enjoyed that segment.
Spilled my dew.
We're getting a little long, so I
Getting
think
a
we're
little
gonna probably finish up for the day. And you
Getting
can't
loosey,
finish up.
but not goosey.
Yeah,
because
get
gooses
loosey.
are stupid heads.
Gooses. Haha.
Gooses are mean.
Yes.
So we're not getting goosey. We're getting loosey, though.
So we're gonna end with our sponsors. Number 1, you can't be beat. Yes.
Jesus!
So loud. Oh my word. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Of Nazareth.
Will always be number 1. Spoiler alert. He rose from the dead, conquered death. We can live with him for eternity if we accept him and follow him. And that's amazing.
It is cool.
Yes. Do you have a verse of the week you want to spout off really quick, Dane?
Of course I do.
Okay.
And what I'm going to go here is I'm reading 1 Corinthians now.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're in 1 Corinthians 6.
Yep.
And it's talking about a lot of things, really. Just really, he's writing to the city of Corinth, and he's like, hey, these are like the things that you're doing, and you should not be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like,
What is the verse?
well, it's like 1 Corinthians 6. I'm trying to pick where to start because I don't want to read the whole passage.
Okay.
But it's like, so if you have such cases, well, why do you lay them before those who have no standing in the church? Basically, whenever you have a disagreement with a brother or sister in Christ, then why are you bringing people from outside the church, unbelievers specifically, to settle these issues whenever they don't hold the same values as you do, which they were doing this. And so he goes on, Paul, to say, I say this to your shame. Can it be that there is no one among you wise enough to settle a dispute between the brothers, but brother goes to law against brother, and that before unbelievers. So again, he's hammering it home right there. He's like, guys, like, we can settle this amongst ourselves as family in-house, which is how it should be settled.
Yeah.
But instead they're like, no, we need to go to court, we need to go to this, and they're being all lame, basically.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was the verse of the week. We didn't really say what verse, but it was in 1 Corinthians, you said?
It was 1 Corinthians 6.
Okay.
And it was verses 4 through 6.
Okay.
4 through 6.
Very, very nice. Number 2 sponsor of the week.
Who is it?
I think it's going to be taking you by surprise. It is Jake Trustin Art.
Who?
Jake Trustin Art. Yes, he is an artist that goes by Jake Trustin. You can go on his website and buy some of his amazing paintings so he can support us better. So support him so he can support us. That's all I got to say about him.
Send him money because he will rewire it to us. He said we get 100% of the money that you send him.
Yeah, so you could also just send us some money directly as well. Also, send us mysterious packages in the mail.
Whoever did that, I love you with all my heart.
Exactly. Yeah, I do too.
You sponsored the do today, and
Yeah.
I had 2 of them.
I had 2 of them as well. So keep sending us random packages. We really do appreciate you. And if you keep this up and want to let us know as you, we might have you on the podcast if you're funny.
Hypothetically.
If you're not funny, we won't have you on.
Well.
And that's a shout out to everybody listening who's not funny. You probably won't be on.
Oh, man.
I'm kidding mostly.
But hypothetically, if you were to send us some banana nut bread, that would be really cash money. Oh, mama.
Our number 3 sponsor of the week, Dane. This is you. Not you, actually, but this is you going to say the number 3 sponsor.
It's Italian Daniel.
Yeah, who is Italian Daniel?
He lives in my house and is my roommate, and today's his 30th birthday.
Yes, and by today we mean June 3rd.
It is June 3rd, and it's his 30th birthday, and he
Happy
likes...
birthday, Daniel.
He's not
You're
here.
not here, but if you listen to this podcast, which you don't,
Yeah.
we're saying happy birthday to you.
He's actually from Italy. That's why we call him Italian Daniel.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Well, I
in
don't wanna
case
get
you
it-
didn't catch on.
I don't want to get it mixed up over here because
Yeah.
people have gotten it mixed up before.
Yeah.
They're like, why do you call him Italian Daniel? I'm like, because he's literally from Italy. But so he's at a brewery right now having a birthday drink. But earlier, Jake was like, oh, he said he wants to go to a bar downtown. And I said, have you ever met him? He's kind of more quiet, like reserved, doesn't like loud things or people. And then you want to take him downtown to have a drink on a Saturday night. And when he said downtown, I think Daniel was thinking more of like a brewery, not a bar.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't really know the difference.
Because he's from Italy.
Because he's from Italy, where, I mean, you go drink wine and stuff, and it's normal. And so I was like, hey, I really think that a brewery would be more his speed, man. And also, I'm 26 years old, and going to a bar on a Saturday night sounds like the worst possible thing.
Yeah, I mean, I never really did it in the first place.
That's true.
So
I've been, and I went as, 20-year-old, 22-year-old, and I hated it then. And I really don't want to do it now.
yeah, and we don't need to get into this because right now, this isn't about us. This is about Italian Daniel.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Also, we need to thank the man that saved you money, send you to do you money, Chet Holmgren's brother, Jack.
Jack Holmgren. I'm really, one of these days, you need to help us get Chet on the pod. And then if you're ever in Springfield again, maybe
You
we
can
get you
fight
on the pod.
me.
Yeah, he would win.
No, he wouldn't.
He would knock you out very quickly. He
No, he
would
wouldn't.
flex his muscles, and then you would get blown over.
I'm 6'1" and tons of fun.
He would beat you.
He's not bigger than me. I'm the tallest male on the planet.
I think this is going downhill really fast. So, again, just leave us 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Keep listening, keep doing you,
And I'm
and
not
keep
Skip
sending
Bayless.
us do. Dane.
Oh, send me do, baby, because what it do, that do be do.
This has been the Until Next Week podcast.
Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Dooba-dooba-doo.
Stay breezy.